Dark House. There we go. That was pretty.
That was pretty. That was pretty good. Yeah.
That's
the take. We'll use that take.
Wait a minute. I'm white.
Well, I guess you could say technically. We need a third member, and I want it to be a young boy wearing glasses.
Do a poo.
And I quote, "Thank you for saving the show." Yes, thank you, Troy, wholeheartedly for saving the show.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
want to quote pre-recording, like we said we started at 8 o'clock, and Kyle said, "You guys are real late. What the hell?"
Yeah,
And Troy said,
8:01.
"I'm cooking. Art takes time." And yeah, better be some good hentai, and I think it was a bit more than just that.
That's right.
Just gotta let him cook, as they always say. Yes, welcome to episode 108 of the Average Blokes podcast. I'm Sports Drink.
I am
Yes, you are.
Jackson Phillips.
Yes, for those who aren't watching, Cyrillic titles on Kyle's profile. And hi, Dad, I'm sick. What are you really drinking?
Get your solo energy.
Wait, is that
Lemon
the
mango.
That's the
mango.
mango
New
already?
flavour.
Yep. What do you think that? Check this out. Look at this. When I saw this,
We're not paid, by the way, to sponsor or anything. We're
I
just...
saw these and I was like, oh, it's sugar free. It sucks, but I'm gonna get it anyway. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Lemon
Yeah, I've seen a few of them in the
pineapple
shop. It's
solo.
odd
Also
because...
got this. And
Yeah.
this.
Coconut water and 100 plus.
Chocolate
Troy
flavored
loves
coconut water.
Yeah, Troy loves coconut water. I mentioned it in the podcast last episode about like if you had a tap that was just all coconut water, he'd be there forever.
It's true. It's my
Our
favorite.
favourite viewer, Mr. Gibbs, told me to say, "What's up?"
Oh yes, hello Mr. Gibbs. Thank you
Hello,
for joining
Mr. Gibbs.
us.
What's up?
Yeah, I've actually got a fun thing to come. Not this episode, but next episode. I got onto our friend Todd, who I have him nicknamed in my messenger as Krispy Kreme McDonald's for whatever reason. There's a reason why I've got him nicknamed that, or he nicknamed himself that. But I'm going to ask him the backstory behind the photo frame that he gifted you. And so he's going to send us a voice note with the full detailed reason why he did it and, you know, what the backstory of it all was. So I'm excited for that. But yes.
You know, it would make an interesting read one day. Would be. Do you remember all of the fanfic stories that me and Todd wrote about you as the main character?
Oh, that's so true. I forgot about that.
Hey, so Jackson, because Kyle shared that photo on Discord, I looked at it and went, I've got a very similar photo of me doing a very similar thing with a very similar bust. Not the same,
No.
and not me presenting it like you, but there's one of me like reaching up and just grabbing and going.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where it is, but I'll have to find it somewhere.
That's okay. Yeah,
I think it was from a
wasn't-
trip with Courtney.
I wasn't sure to actually post it in the video episode just as a highlight thing, but I think I'll just leave it as is.
That's fair.
Yeah. It is fine, but like I don't have anything wrong with it, but yeah, it's just one of those efforts of like, do I bother showing people? But anyway. Yeah, so let's get into some highlight stuff. I'm gonna start off with quick highlights actually because he did it! I was actually gonna ask, did you find the Carmageddon sound effects?
I
Looks
mean,
like
there
you
were
did.
plenty around, but
Yes. We have some feedback, guys. Some feedback. It only took 108 episodes or whatever. Feedback. Troy is very domineering.
That's because he's a top, not a bottom.
you guys want to know what that screams from?
No. Oh,
I'll play it one
Tell
more
us.
time. See if you can guess it, Jackson. You wouldn't guess it, Carl, but Jackson might be able to guess who it's from.
wait, do it again then, please. Oh. I don't. Is it an animal? It sounds like a. No, it says a human. Okay.
Person.
Yeah.
It's from
Probably
not. It's from not the latest episode, but the previous episode of Go My Favorite Sports Team, and it's Mark.
Oh, that was on there?
Yeah, there's at the very start of the episode, he's like, "I'm going to echolocation myself," and he does that. and I listened. Like it popped up when I was listening to Spotify. I'm like, oh god, I've got to get this sound on my sound.
I had to. I either 2 times speed that episode, or I just skipped a whole bunch of it because I talked about WNBA, which
and
is
the pay gap
irrelevant
thing.
to absolutely everyone.
I know it was the most ridiculous thing. Kyle loves it.
Clark. If I had...
we also have a notification in our live chat.
Oh, hello.
Oh wow!
I'm not aware of this live chat business, but that's great to know that we've got a live chat.
You
going,
didn't know we
because
had a live chat?
I wish.
Wait,
Look, if we could,
straight man.
if we could, then
Love
we'd be
you too,
aligned, but I
Rowan.
don't think we can right now. For those who aren't familiar, unlike Rohan is, we live stream our episodes whenever we go live for a recording. And
Oh, that's
Rohan
brilliant.
has decided to bless us with his presence in wishing
We
that he
are
could kiss
live
gorgeous
from
straight man.
a basement in Bunbury.
That's right. So Rohan,
Have you ever thought about oiling yourself up for me?
Come to Bunbury. Oh, bring a jar. Bring a jar.
Mm. Somebody's saying
Anyway,
Alexa,
yeah,
turn
so-
off.
part of my highlight is
Oh,
doing
I'm not
those.
finished yet.
Fine.
That's
Continue.
okay. I'll just quick one, because one of them will fascinate you, Troy. The one fact I heard a fact recently saying a quarter of all podcast shows have only one episode, and
Yep.
65% of podcasts have fewer than 10.
Sounds
We're
about right.
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's because they're all lazy pricks. They want to get rich quick.
Not us. And another thing was I saw a news headline was Pavel Podkolzin, whatever. He's a former NBA Dallas Mavericks player, and now he's playing in like lower league Russian football. And it's hilarious because in the whole game that he played, like I think he played like 50 minutes or so,
Russian
he never won a,
football
he
as
never
in
won a header.
soccer?
He never
Russian
won a header. Yeah, soccer. Yeah. So there's this gigantic man on a soccer field on the pitch, and they have a corner. His team has a corner, and the ball comes in, and he like a guy that's like nearly half his size won the ball. Like he won the header.
Oh wow. So wait. So did you say former AFL player?
Former NBA player. So he used to
NBA
play-
player.
yeah,
Okay.
he used to play for the Mavericks.
Okay. And he's doing football. Anyway.
Yeah, why not? He's 40 something years old.
Weird.
Oh, that reminds me, Jackson. What were you? I don't know if you were going to bring this up as part of the podcast, but I'm just going to say it now. What was the thing about the AFL players and Snoop Dogg? And is that to do with the fact that he was like, I don't want to talk to my kids about transgender stuff?
Look, no, we'll talk about that next episode, or if we have enough time in this one, we'll bring that up because there's a whole lot of layers to that.
Because I'm sitting there going, so are they cancelling the show because he said those stuff and some other guy said some anti-homophobic stuff or something?
Oh, look, the AFL's been poorly managed, poorly
The
run.
AFL's been poorly managed for a very long time.
Yeah, but
you want to
this
know
year
why?
it's
Because
been-
I don't watch the AFL, and if you
Neither do
can't
I.
get me,
Neither do I, but it's just like this year's been a shocker, like absolutely stinking.
who wants Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
I don't know. It's a weird choice
not
for an
even a
Aussie
performer
sporting
anymore.
event.
2010 would have been a good time for him, but not now.
That's right.
Jeez.
All right, so what's your highlights, Jackson?
Getting feedback from the podcast. The fact about podcasts only have less than 10 episodes, and that an NBA player was spotted playing lower tier Russian soccer and never won a header.
And he's a tall NBA player. I got that.
he was quite tall, yes. I didn't write down his height, but yeah, like when you watch the video of him, he's quite obvious. Like who
And
he
he
is.
lost the header.
Yeah, he lost the header like a shorter guy came along. Yeah. But yes. And I want to quickly quote what Rohan said in the chat. You think I don't oil myself up for the pot?
I read that bit.
Yes. All right.
Number one fan.
It seems that way. Troy, let's go to you for highlights next. What do you have?
Well, my highlight is basically Axel got sick and he got me and Courtney sick, so now I'm sick.
Congrats.
But I'm still working because
Sick.
I'm made of sick stuff. No, I'm still working, Jackson, because unlike some people, I work hard and I hard work.
Shutting down.
And they get hard during work. No. Yeah, but that was my highlight of the week. Other than painting something for Corny picked up one of those. What are they called? The walker things for toddlers to walk up.
Oh,
to the
walking
kitchen
frames,
table.
essentially.
Yeah, a little frame thing, and I sanded it back and painted it, and I've almost finished painting it. Other than that, yeah, it's been a pretty cruisy week, really.
Okay, gotcha.
Went to Bunnings.
Yeah.
Nice.
Read the art of the deal, so yeah.
I just want to state that your wife said he has rhinovirus, and my mind just went to go, when did he last kiss a rhino?
He's got rhinovirus and some other virus, she said, but I couldn't pronounce that one. So he caught two different things.
Pretty good.
My other highlight of the week was Jackson berating me on my way to a job site because I mentioned Axel was sick, and God
He has a
forbid
cough.
I mentioned some other kid is sick besides his kids. Every time I mention anything about Axel's experiences, I'm like, oh yeah, Axel fell down, and Jackson's like, yeah,
Kids will do that.
so what? So who cares?
Kids do that.
Kids fall down. What do you get over it? Kids fall down. Oh, he's got a bit of a cough. Yeah, well, kids get sick. You know. Meanwhile, I'm trying to explain to him he's got a bit of a cough, so we can't bring him to meet his teacher for childcare. And I'm like, you would have known that sooner, Jackson, if you hadn't had a hissy fit.
My favorite part of that conversation was like, oh, he was coffee yesterday. I'm like, what was he, like a cup of tea the day before, or a short black the day before that?
I was
or-
like, he's a little bit coffee. And he's
short
like,
black.
oh, what a short black. You are a dad.
Thank you, yes. Hi, Dad, I'm
Dad
sick.
humor.
I got one thing to say to you about that.
Wrong checkpoint.
Yes.
And yeah, obviously organising the soundboard was
come
enjoyable
again.
too.
All right.
I looked
let's
at the
move on.
game and
Let's-
I remember I looked at the intro on Steam for the game and I was like,
Yes.
oh, I remember watching this little cinematic and the bit at the end where the guy gets run over.
They on Steam they actually sold. There was a pack, I'm pretty sure, where you can buy all of them for one price or something.
I tried. I didn't see that. I
Yeah, it
could
must have been
only see a
unlimited
little
offer,
thing
'cause that's what I
But,
got.
It must have been because I don't think the I clicked on the company that made the game, but I don't think they made the follow-up games.
No, someone else made the newer ones.
And they've recently released a new game in 2025 called it's called it's early access Titan Quest 2, which kind of looks a little bit like
yes,
Diablo.
yep. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, might look into that.
All right, let's move on to Kyle. Surely you haven't seen any more Kia Tasmans.
Actually, well, they are now being sold down here at City Motors.
Oh, okay. Lincoln City Motors.
So get down to Lincoln City Motors, not sponsored, to get a Kia Tasman. Yeah. Now, apart from that, as of today, I'm officially chainsaw certified.
Oh, well done. Chainsaw and
Beautiful,
forklift.
beautiful stuff. And
Wait,
the
I
other
thought you-
highlight
yeah,
of
that's
the
right.
day is I ate a
Food.
KFC Zinger Stacker box.
Oh, that is a highlight. I haven't had one of
Don't
them
go
in
wild.
ages.
Hold the applause. Oh, yes.
That actually would be a highlight for me because I haven't had KFC in like 3 weeks.
Same. Yeah.
3 weeks.
I'm just thinking,
Really?
though,
You didn't get KFC for lunch at all this whole time?
yes.
Don't you know? Did you know this? Kyle Jackson's a secret lunchtime eater.
Yeah.
He only eats lunch because he doesn't get enough for dinner.
Well, no.
Big lunch.
It's not entirely true. I was going to say, because technically, the other day
kidding,
I
I'm kidding.
actually had my first proper lunch during work. Next to the hotel I was working at, there was a Taco Bill, not Taco Bell.
Oh
And
yes, I
oh my
love
goodness
Taco
me,
Bills.
Taco Bill was so much more better than Taco Bell.
Of course it
saying
is.
Taco Bell with a Kiwi accent. Oh, Taco Bell.
Taco Bill.
There was a Taco Bill up the road.
Oh no, I got sick at Taco Bill.
Bro, let's go to Taco Bell.
Yeah. The other,
Sorry,
I
the
should.
way Carl said that sounded like he said Taco Dill.
Well,
My
same thing.
mind jumped straight to dildo.
Oh, good to
I don't know
to
why.
I think you need oiling up, Troy.
Maybe.
Yeah. I was going to say
Excuse me.
my other highlight I forgot to mention was listening to our recent episode because damn nabbit. Carl, I don't know if you're like me and Troy, but the whole reason we created this podcast was so we have something to listen to. So it's like it was labeled the show for us because that's who our target was.
It was.
Oh my
I was,
gosh.
I was listening to it too, and I was like, "This is entertaining, but man, am I frustrated! What the heck's going on with this bloody mic?" And then it got to the bit where Spawn's drink. What are you really drinking? And I pissed myself laughing.
Oh, Yeah.
I wanted to find that clip for the intro, but
Yeah, I could probably process the audio and find a cleaner version for you to include it somewhere. But
it's okay. I can go to Spotify and and reverse. Excuse me.
testing one too.
Reverse
Jeez.
to it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You should have heard me on the phone to Phil.
Should have I? I'm not sure if I did want to. I'm not sure if I do want to listen to it, but anyway.
I almost invited him to the podcast.
Oh gosh.
I said, oh, maybe not because Jackson won't want to. Jackson's talking about his subject, and he won't want 4 people.
I don't want any sensibleness in this show.
But while I was talking to him about it, the phone hung up, and then he never called me back. I never called him back
Hot dog.
because we had a plan to buy a bunch of. He's bought a bunch of garden gnomes.
Oh, he's done it. Okay.
He's actually done it, and he was going to come over Friday.
Oh, okay.
He might still. We'll see how I'm feeling, but hopefully we're going to buy a bunch of garden gnomes. Kyle and a friend of ours who's still currently he currently lives with his parents. I shouldn't say still because he moved to Canada for like 2 years or something and then came back. But he's currently living with his parents, and we've had this plan for the past 10 or so years to just originally it was to slowly put a bunch of garden gnomes outside the front of their place so they don't really notice it at first, and then they start to like, where did this come from? But the plan's changed to we're going to rock up there at 1 o'clock in the morning and just put them all out on the front. So when they wake up in the morning, they come out their front door and they just see all these garden gnomes all over like their garden.
Got known, boy.
Basically,
joking.
apparently that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it used to be. I'm not sure if it still is now. I made the joke though that Carl to Troy that he should go behind his friend's back and put garden gnomes in his Phil's house instead. Like just to,
But he
jump
lives.
ahead.
He lives in the northern suburbs
lives
from
too
here,
far.
so he's like an hour and a half drive, 2-hour drive away.
So
So I'm like, I'm not doing that.
wasn't Phil
doesn't
who
have
went
big
and did
enough-
that rampage? Was it? Yes.
No, wrong place. Wrong
No,
place.
that was northeast. That was
too far northeast.
That was very close to me. In fact, I could have been there. Oh
That far?
no, it was probably about 3 hours from my place.
Yeah, 2.5.
2 hours,
2.5.
2.5. Yeah. Apparently, there's a compound there.
No, well, now we know.
Like the news was saying it was like a private property, and like a bunch of cars were constantly coming in and going out. So I was like, "Ooh, it's a cult."
Okay, well, let's
The
not jump
raid-
too far ahead because that's what basically will cover my subject. But I'll let you finish quickly, Carl, before we get into it.
Yeah, well, they raided, the first reason they were raiding the place was to search for firearms.
Yeah, they found them.
They sure did.
Found them the hard way.
I'm going to bring up something really quick before you go into
Yeah,
it.
sure,
but,
go for it.
so you know how I've been listening to Chinese donghus or whatever they're called, donghua.
I swear there's a new name every time you mention something related to Chinese media.
Okay. It's Donghua. How do you pronounce that?
Donghua, yeah, I guess.
Donghua. Yeah,
Donghua.
it's Donghua. And it's kind of funny because I'm watching one at the moment, and it'll play YouTube ads because the video is set to default Chinese, so the subtitles are default Chinese subtitles and all that. So every time I go to subtitles, I have to switch them to English. The ads are like defaulted Chinese or something. So half the time it'll play a regular ad, but then when it comes up with a drink driving ad, for example, it's come up twice. It comes up with a drink driving ad, and it's all in Chinese.
Oh,
But it's an Australian drink driving ad.
yeah, that makes sense. There's a
So the-
Chinese population here too. So.
And but I'm sitting there going, how many bloody people are speaking Chinese that they have to the government has to purposely put
Yeah.
drink driving ads, the standard, you see the video where it's like, it could be anywhere, anytime, and it just shows the cop car pulling over someone and breathalyzing them. But it's all in Chinese and has Chinese subtitles.
No.
It even comes up with the like, it's not if, it's when, but that's in Chinese too.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Oh, I'll just
I'm
cover
like,
on that basis, because
I was gonna say-
not just white people drink drive, but
No, I know that. I'm just thinking, like, what percentage of the population speaks Chinese that they have to put those ads in YouTube videos? The government ones.
I'd say almost half. Well, I was gonna say half the population, but maybe not. But it'd be up there.
It wouldn't be half the population.
No, it'd be maybe
because
like 25, 40, 30%.
You also got to remember that a lot of those people who speak Chinese also speak English, so they don't really need the ad.
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
What do you mean by those people, Troy?
Second generation Chinese Australians, Australinese,
Australianese.
Australinesians.
Austrasian. You could just say.
Austrasians.
Australasian is the correct term, but anyway.
Wait. So where our area is called
Australasia.
like Australasia. So shouldn't we all just call ourselves Australians
Doesn't have the right same tone, I think.
as Australians? Yeah, you're right. Australian doesn't make sense. Anyway, second generation. People that speak English and Chinese, or
Yes.
fluent in English and Chinese.
Yeah. Well, it's okay, Troy, because you're not in New South Wales and you're not inciting a racial hatred, so it's fine.
Wait, when did they? I don't know. Wait, what date is it?
It's past the 15th of August.
I'm waiting 4 days. then I'll start. Then I'll start inside. No, I'm kidding. I'm talking about the 31st of March thing. What they're gonna do?
The
Bunch
rally.
of people, the rally or whatever it is. Yeah. I didn't know a bunch of people were gonna do like a protest and have Australian flags until like a couple of days ago.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, let's get on into the topic. And for those who are wondering, we're talking about sovereign citizens. More specifically,
boy.
I guess the Australian version, because I guess they slightly differ amongst different countries.
They love here in Victoria we call them police shooters.
I mean, at this rate, in Australia, we call police shooters.
That's true.
because-
True. You know, someone's a sovereign citizen when they've shot and killed a cop.
I just think my favorite part about searching up sovereign citizens and whatnot is that, specifically in Wikipedia, I mean, it's basically the only place I search because, that's where you look. Under the Australia section of that, it says, see also far-right terrorism.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. But it's interesting because it opens with saying, like, in Australia, it has its own tradition of pseudo-law, imported sovereign citizen ideas in the 1990s, even before the movements in the 2000s resurgence. It later imported the more Commonwealth-specific free man of the land movement. There is some crossover between Australian free man on the land and local sovereign citizen groups and some others.
What's free man on the land?
I guess just because you're on your Australian land, you can do whatever you want. It's just kind of like the principle of like, okay, I live on this land, that means I can do whatever I want. Just ignoring all law of the land, I guess, if that makes sense.
I mean, it depends on. So the thing that I think about is the fact that like land ownership, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Shouldn't you be allowed? In theory, shouldn't you be allowed to? If you own the land, shouldn't you be allowed to do what you want specifically on that area?
Well, I'm glad you brought that point up, Troy, because in Western Australia, there was a micronation formed because of that sort of concept, the thought of owning your own land, and you can do whatever you want. So some guy tried to create his own country in Western Australia.
Well, you can't really do that because technically we, in Australia, I don't know about other countries, but we don't technically own the land.
Yeah, because it belongs to the Commonwealth.
It belongs to the Crown specifically. So yeah, we don't technically. We've got like a lease, which is the most. It doesn't make. I'm paying thousands of dollars to lease this place. As long as there is Commonwealth, I have access to this area for free.
Excuse me.
But yeah, you can't make a country out of that. Otherwise, imagine how many billionaires would have made their own countries.
Yeah, well, they
The
tried.
closest you'll get is to own a bunch of islands and put them together, and then you own all those islands.
So the core concept has been tested by several court cases, none successful for the free men. In 2011, climate denier and political activist Malcolm Roberts, who was later elected senator for Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party, wrote aloud to the then Prime Minister Julia Gillard, filled with characteristics, sovereign citizen ideas and vocabulary, although he denied that he was a sovereign citizen. From the 2010s, there had been a growing number of free men targeting Indigenous Australians, with groups using names like Tribal Sovereign Parliament of Gondwana Land, or the Original Sovereign Tribal Federation, or the Original Sovereign Confederation.
Lovely.
An Aboriginal man who has produced YouTube videos speaking about common law, which incorporate free men beliefs, appealing to other Aboriginal people. This is an interesting one. I'd never actually thought about there being like an Aboriginal movement behind the whole sovereign type concepts. But that's interesting to know. In 2015, New South Wales Police Force identified sovereign citizens as a potential terrorist threat, estimating that were about 300 sovereign citizens in the state at the time.
I'm a white guy. I'm ready to kill.
I mean, basically, freeman or sovereign citizen ideas have been promoted on the internet by various Aussie groups such as the United Rights Australia, and during the COVID-19 pandemic had accelerated the spread of the movement in Australia. Numerous incidents with the law enforcement have since been reported, some of them violent, such as the 22 I think it's pronounced Williambilla shootings, which was
Billa?
yeah. So back in 2022, which is very eerie, similar to what
Wait,
happened.
is that the one that happened in Queensland?
Yes, correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
I heard about that one. I've seen the footage. It's pretty. Yeah, it's
It's
pretty.
scary.
You see the footage of the survivor, and it's like, whoa, wow.
Yeah. So basically, that kind of incident was the whole concept because I believe there was 3 people at that time. There was a husband and wife and a friend or a neighbor or something. I can't remember.
So 3 people died. You mean? Or
No, 3 people. These are the people that shot were part of shooting the police.
I remember if there was 3, but there was 3 people killed. There was the 2
Correct.
police officers and the
Yes. And the
neighbor was
neighbour,
killed
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he heard the gunshots and he decided to
What's going
do
on
the
there?
right thing and see what's going on. Whereas that was rookie mistake. I would have called someone and I would have left the area.
Yeah. The crazy thing about that case was that when they went back after they arrested or killed the killers or
They
whatever,
killed them. Yeah, they killed. I
They,
think it was 2 guys. I think it was a guy and his brother or something.
probably
The property owner and his brother.
they'd basically set up a battlefield.
It was a stockpile.
Yeah, and they had like these camouflage dens where they were shooting from, and like it was messed up. Like these guys had been thinking that they were above the law, ignored authority, and just like went ahead and built like not like a war zone, but like a perfect battlefield for them just to dominate and not let anyone through, which was just insane.
Yeah, but the question is why?
Yeah, I think it's a mindset because there was a connection with that case. There was an American guy in the late 2021 or mid or early 2022 who had their own sort of type of sovereign citizens concept or group where he would spread the word about being a sovereign citizen and what you should do to stand up against authority or whatever.
I mean, there's sovereign citizens all over America.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of groups. In
yes, I
fact, you
got-
should hear some of the stuff that they say. I haven't heard much of it. I've only heard because I listened to the last podcast on the left episode, and they recently also did a sovereign citizen thing, Jackson.
Yeah.
And basically, one of the main guys, Henry, is talking about how he fell asleep listening to some guy who just spoke for hours about all this fake legal stuff and it was just talking complete and total gibberish, but made it sound like. If we're on it, if we have paid for the land and we own it, then we should be able to do what we want with it, and we should be able to charge to understand why we can grow grass here. I want to grow what I want here. I bought it. I don't even think it's that. What
find
is
it
a
ironic.
license? What is a car license?
I find it
And he's-
ironic that a lot of these sovereign citizen people will put out like instructional videos about what you should say and do in court
That's
and in this
it, yes.
situation. Then any lawyer that has a social media presence will be like, none of this.
Don't
holds
do
up.
that. Don't do that.
So the judge will hate you and
Don't-
you end up in jail.
Don't do that. Don't represent yourself.
So going back to this Williambilla shootings, there was a guy called Donald Day Jr. who encouraged the views of this certain sort of religious point where he was like, I think he was trying to tell across, like his message was like, we were coming towards the end of days, and so these people, here we go. Police alleged he sent the shooters Christian end of days ideological messages in the months leading up to the shootings. Professor Roos, who I'm assuming was in the court case about these killers, said in conversation between the two, you could see them having that discussion about the return of Christ, and then particularly Gareth, who was one of the shooters, fighting alongside Jesus to bring about salvation. When the end would occur was debated amongst believers. He said that so there was a girl called Stacy Train. She was some of the shooters. There were three. One was a lady. Spent hours and hours and hours working out precisely when this was going to occur. And there must have been. It was possible to estimate they were up to 80% in, like their plan. COVID was the starting point for them to realize, all right, end of days is coming. Based on that final timeline, that they're about a couple of months off it at most from hitting the end times.
So a bunch of doomsday preppers.
Yeah.
That's another thing. There's a lot of doomsday prepper stuff.
Yeah, and they were basically saying like by the time they set up their battlefield, they just assumed that when the police were rocking up, that their battle had arrived.
It's the end of days, people.
If the shoe fits.
So for those people in Queensland, they were influenced by an American guy.
Wait a minute. I'm white.
I found.
Wait a minute, that's irrelevant.
I love that clip.
Oh, goodness me.
Jackson, you know what that clip's from?
It feels like it's either South Park or it's.
So it's from Boondocks.
No, would not have guessed whatever that is.
Which is basically, how do I explain? The best way for me to explain it is it's basically the black version of South Park.
Oh, okay.
Like it was written, it was made and written and like not produced, but distributed by BET,
Okay, right.
which is Black Entertainment Television.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's just got like I won't use the words because it's pretty appropriate, but basically as these two black guys bump into each other and they call it an end moment. And then basically it's just the real stereotypical two thugs style, and they both shoot at each other. And then it cuts to, but what happens when a white person has an end moment and it does the same thing, but the black guy bumps into a white guy and he goes, "Watch where you're going," and the white guy's like, wait a minute, I'm white, and he just takes a sip of his coffee and starts walking away.
Oh goodness,
It's such a funny clip.
So I did some more research and found there was like a case about a study case about sovereign citizens. And the first line is basically says like sovereign citizens assert that government laws do not apply to them. They actively disengage from social structures like taxation, state requirements such as birth certificates and driver's license, and other laws, believing that governments lack legal authority over them. They'd be described as people who selectively reject the authority of the Constitution and deny the reality of the legal framework founded on the Constitution in instances where denial is personally convenient.
Do you know what I find kind of like funny? The easiest argument to pull apart this whole sovereign citizen argument, and the whole, you don't need to pay taxes. The government doesn't control you. You don't need to show your license. And I'm not driving, I'm traveling, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is, okay, what money are you using to pay for it? Whose money are you using to pay for your fuel or for this stuff? Did you make the fuel yourself out of plastic you found on the ground? Did you condense it down and turn it into petroleum? No, you bought it with Australian money or American money, given and produced and distributed by the government.
Because when I first think of sovereign citizens, I think of the time I first heard the term and the first instance. I don't know if you know this, Troy, but there were a lot of videos, maybe last year or the year before, where news.com were reporting sovereign citizen pulled over by police for speeding, and there was a dash cam video or a body cam footage of the conversation. So before then, I had no idea or any idea of the term sovereign citizen. So it kind of feels new or recent, but
do you know what I find funny, right? So it seems that people specifically here in Australia, they don't seem to understand that if you get pulled over by a police officer or a police officer comes to your door or something like that, right? And they ask you to produce ID, you legally have to produce some form of identification. Obviously, if you're a teenager, you don't have to, but I don't know what the rules specifically are with teens, because if they don't have a license or anything, there's no ID, or anything. But if you're a grown adult, I'm pretty sure if they ask for some form of ID, you have to produce it. Unlike in America, where you don't actually have to, here you do. It's illegal, and they can arrest you for not producing it. But a lot of people seem to not understand that or not know that. So you see these videos of people recording themselves having interactions with the cops, and it's like, you don't need to see my ID. And the police officer's like, yeah, I'm charging you for something. I need to see your ID to know who I'm charging. Oh, well, I'm not giving it to you. And then it turns into, it turns into them arguing, and then eventually either more cops rock up and pull them out of the car and arrest them, or they hand their ID
just
over.
makes
One
the
or the
situation
other.
worse. They could have been easy to resolve, but yeah. Carl, your thoughts so far?
You got to applaud the cops, because there's always that variation when you see the videos. There's the cops that are like eternally patient,
Arseholes.
and they're just like, they deal with it. But then you see the ones who have obviously had more than one run in with them, and then they're just straight to the, I'm smashing your car window, I'm dragging you out, and you're cuffed in the back seat.
I just love the fact that, like, you see American cops, and most of the time it's just straight into the smash you, pull you out of the car.
Not dealing with this today.
And here it's like a bit more of a 50-50. You either get that guy who's just really friendly and nice, and he's kind of just like, come on, I don't want to do this, you don't want to do this, but we have to do this. Like, come on. Or you got the guy who's like, that's it. Bang. We've been through this before. I'm pretty sure they've said to some blokes, we've been through this before.
So part of this case study says sovereign citizens often raise arguments relating to the distinct sovereignty of an individual or group, and make the claim that the Commonwealth and state parliaments lack the power or authority to pass laws affecting them. In Australia, sovereignty rests in the people. However, this is not an individual sovereignty since the passing of the Australian Act in 1986. It has collectively resided within the Australian people. This means collective power or authority is given to the people of Australia in their ability to amend the Constitution via referendum and by electing members of Parliament.
Lovely.
Yeah. I was kind of jokingly thinking the other day, like, is like a sovereign citizen is a person that refuses to, I don't know, elect or vote.
I mean, yes, basically. So it's someone who does not recognise the current government as having any control over them at all. In the sense that we all, like, excuse me, I'm struggling to breathe here. Obviously, we all have free will in a sense, but you know how you see the videos of people who are like, you know, oh, we're all modern day slavery is just us being like, you know, it's just you working a job and getting paid, and then you having to pay a mortgage, and you know you have to do all this stuff. That's modern. They've got us trapped in modern day slavery and all this. And then I'm sitting there, no, that's not modern day slavery. It still exists. Modern day slavery still exists. Some people work and don't get paid and can't leave the country they're currently in to go home or anything. Like, there's actual modern day slavery. What you have is just an unfortunate social obligation that society has put on us. Like, the idea is, you know, I go to work and do my job because my job is required for someone else to do their job, which requires someone else to do their job, and et cetera, et cetera. And it starts with goods and services and all that. Like, we've all got, essentially, when we're born, we're born into this social, I'm not going to say social code, but social agreement where we all decide to work together. And the funny thing is, we've all got free will. We can choose not to do that, not to help out, not to work together, not to recognize people or government. Like, we can choose individual freedom in that sense. Like, you know how guns are illegal in Australia, right? You can still buy a gun. Like, you can still get one.
Yeah.
It's possible to get one. But why haven't I bought a gun? Well, because for starters, I don't need one. I don't want one. And if I did want one, I could get one. But I'd also be taking the risk of, like, if someone knows I've got it, they can report me to the police and the police could arrest me. Like, that's part of the social agreement. But I could still get one. I could still, you know, I could drive without a license. But I'm taking that I'm taking that risk of driving without a license that if I get pulled over, I might get my car taken away. So I think sovereign citizens are people that are basically like taking that risk in the sense that you can't control, you can't restrict my personal freedoms,
Yeah.
is what they believe. But the fact is, as long as you're driving a car in the country controlled by our government, they can restrict you.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're libertarians with extra steps.
Basically.
Basically.
I think, you know how you said, Jackson, the far right thing? Mm-hmm. When you think of the difference between, so someone who is incredibly far left, like so far left that you end up with communism, for example, is the group sacrificing for the individual, right? That's the idea of communism, is everyone pitches in to help out all the individuals pitch in to help the whole group, right? Mm-hmm. But extreme far right would be complete and total individualism.
Yeah. Okay.
Where it's like where the person focuses entirely on them for everything that they need, like me first to the extreme, as opposed to far left, which is extreme altruism, where it's I give everything to everyone else until I'm burnt out and dead.
Yeah.
One is over giving, and the other one is overtaking, to simplify.
Yeah.
So I think sovereign citizens is just, when people say far right, I think that's why they associate sovereign citizens with far right, because it's extreme individualism.
Yeah, that's true.
But what I found interesting is a lot of people, from what I heard from listening to the last podcast on the left, is that someone wrote a book, like similar to what you were saying, they were doing a study on sovereign citizens. A lot of people that end up like becoming sovereign citizens are people that have just been mistreated by, I don't know if it's the government or their hospital system. No, not their parents. They've been mistreated by the system.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes.
Or they've ended up in a bad situation and the system hasn't helped them out, so they've it's failed them. Yeah. So they've completely withdrawn from it, in a sense. So, like, a best example is, some guy might have a kid that's sick, so they take him to the hospital, and then the hospital doesn't give him. They've got a life-saving drug, for example, but they can't give it to the kid because it's going to cost this much amount of money. And he can't pay for it, so therefore the kid dies. He gets annoyed because why the hospital system let him down, essentially. So that's just off the top of my head a theoretical example. That's not a real world example, but I can imagine a scenario like that where someone would turn and blame the hospital, and it was a public hospital, therefore the government should have been able to step up and help out in that situation.
I feel like it's a rare case though, because like I feel like it wouldn't be very often that the system has failed someone here in Australia, because like we have it so good comparatively to like the US where everything's all privatized, and like
I think that's why you get a lot more people who are sovereign citizens, for example, in the US.
Yeah.
It also might be just a coping mechanism.
I think another good point though for like the recent rise, or I guess the recent rise is probably more correct, or the more common knowledge about sovereign citizens, is because COVID really, I think, went to people's minds, and then people were like looking for answers or solutions about why is this all happening, blah 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 this, and like, as soon as people were like anti-vaxxing, there was kind of like, oh, there's a revolt, there's a mindset of people that are not wanting to follow what the government's telling you, because people who don't believe the government or trust the government are like, they're not sure if the government are doing the right thing, because like in Victoria especially we had the harshest lockdown, and I don't know if you can sort of contribute to this, Kyle, but we had it so hard, and like there were checkpoints, you can only drive a certain distance at times.
I never ran into a checkpoint.
Yeah, well, that's because you probably didn't go that far.
I mean, how far did you have to go?
I had to go through checkpoints.
Okay.
But it's because I had all the work permits that were required at the time. But so like in Victoria there was a massive issue where there were a lot of people who are not trusting the government at all, and then I guess leaning more rightly in their ways and thoughts about the government, and thinking, oh, I don't need the vaccine, the COVID's fake, or it's 5G,
Well, so it's kind of part of the problem is that the problem with how COVID was handled, especially in Victoria, is the fact that everything, it was so heavily enforced. That's the problem. Is like you can't. What they should have done is they should have explained the whole thing and said, "This is what we're going to do, right? Like we're going to stop people from working. We're going to well, we're not going to stop, but we're going." They should have recommended a lot of things, right? But they were too worried and scared that that the hospital system wouldn't be able to handle everything. And it's kind of hard to explain to people, look, you don't have to, you just have to stay home for 6 months.
Good luck.
Like, yeah, good luck with that. And so a lot of people would have followed it going, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But some people are just, they don't like the idea of them being restricted. And because of that, they it's sitting there going, we've got a totalitarian government or whatever. I can't pronounce it at the moment, but yeah. Why? Because they stop you from driving to see someone for 6. Like we weren't locked up for 10 years. We weren't locked up for 6. Like
it was just blocks,
and they weren't stopping people. Like they didn't like what did the police actually do when someone like got pulled over for being somewhere where they shouldn't have been?
I don't
like what did they do?
know.
Did they arrest them?
I don't know because I do remember.
Or did they fine them? They gave them a
Probably.
fine. That's what they did. They told them to go home and gave them a fine.
I don't know, but
I
COVID.
think
Sorry,
there was a lot of the outrage though was like for some of the cases where there were people who were out at the beach, no one around them for like kilometers, but the police would go out of their way to be like, "Oi, you," and then a few people did get dragged off and arrested for being out in public.
Yeah.
But they were not anywhere near anyone, and I think that's what angered a lot of people the most. And I think it was up in Queensland where they built, I think it was Queensland, I'm pretty sure, where they built that essentially big camp where for people who were refusing to get vaccinated, you getting shoved in a camp. Historically, shoving people in camps does not.
Yeah, no.
Not a good. Not a
They
look.
did that in Queensland.
I'm waiting for the diary to drop.
What kind of? Oh god.
But yeah, so
Fair enough. In Queensland, they should have revolted. Then, yes, if they're building up camps for people who refuse to, that's just targeting people.
Yeah, here in SA, we didn't have it that bad at all. We had a couple lockdowns, but for the better part, they were fine with letting us out. Yeah.
He's got a few things
And
to
then,
say.
I got a family member, right, who he was he worked, he does work for not for the government, but he works for Parks Victoria or something like that, or he did at the time. And they told him to get vaccinated, and he said no. And so he took leave with pay and then leave without pay for a while, and then he just worked for someone else for a little while. He still had his job. They didn't want him to go to work until he got vaccinated, so he said, "I'm not going to work." And then all he did was just turn around and say to them, "Yeah, I caught COVID." And they went, "All right, yep, now you can start working again. You don't have to get vaccinated now that you've caught COVID." He hadn't caught COVID. And ironically, I think 2-3 weeks, it would have been 3 weeks maybe, after he said he caught COVID, he actually caught COVID and took a week off. But all he had to do was say, "Yeah, no, I already caught COVID. I'm sweet. I'm good to go. Like, I don't need to get vaccinated." So it's one of those things where you don't like the idea that people are being forced to stay home or anything like that. Again, it's a social contract we've made with the government, and if you go for, if you drive to your girlfriend's house and they catch you, well, then you get a fine. So I think people just went a bit too far with how they thought they thought it was going to be a slippery slope or something where it would just get worse.
Because I'm just trying to think, because it seems that like mostly the eastern states were the ones prone to having these sovereign citizen issues. I'm just trying to think, like South Australia was pretty good, I imagine. I don't think there've been that much uproar during lockdown and stuff like that.
the biggest inconvenience here was like, and it wasn't that inconvenient, was if you entered and entered any business, like Kmart, Woolies,
Oh yeah, the QR
pharmacy,
code.
anyway, you had to do a QR code. And they were fining people who would just walk past it. But the fines were huge.
Oh, yes.
One of my mates walked into the servo to pay for his fuel without scan the QR code. $1,100. Boop.
What?
Yeah.
$1,100?
Yeah.
What the? Yeah, that's a bit different.
And that's a bit nuts.
When I say a fine, I don't mean $1,100. See, that was just for not scanning the QR code. That's ridiculous.
And half the people, like my mum, not very technologically literate, right?
Yeah, what if
And
you couldn't use it?
She'd open the camera app and you'd, scan the QR code and it would take you to the site where you fill in your details.
She just didn't
Most people
fill
would
in the
just-
details.
Oh yeah, lots of people would just pop the QR code and think, oh yep, it's done. Like it automatically knows who you are and everything, and just walk on in. The thing is, half the time, especially down here, there was no one checking that you filled anything in properly. Like myself, like every time I dip into Bunnings, I've done the QR code. Did it? Yep. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think it was
I've
there.
done that a few times.
I think with the QR code checking, that was pushed in by the governments to make sure something's in place that you can trace something if something does happen. But
Yeah.
no
There was
one
the
really
COVID tracking app,
Yeah.
but then again, everyone's skeptical about. Oh, do I want my everyday movements tracked by the government?
Yeah, I don't want Big Brother.
So, like I said at the start, I don't think it was handled right. I don't think they handled it very well or did a very good job, because when you're getting $1,100 fines for not scanning a QR code, that's a different story. That's a bit much. Even the fines, like I heard the fines were bad for not, being caught out or not at home, or like being out and all that. But, excuse me.
Nice.
It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't handled right. They didn't do a very good job of it, but it wasn't this slippery slope that would lead to total control of individuals. And what do they call satellite cities? They were talking about the satellite city situation.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't this control of human society that I imagine a lot of these people would have thought. Like or the end days, Oh, they spoke about this in the Bible. You got a QR code on your hand that you scan. It's yeah, but I'm sure a lot of people would have felt that way about it because they never had their freedoms restricted to this degree, or having to be forced to scan a QR code. Because I did so many of those on job sites. It was such a pain in the ass.
I just had an interesting thought too, because so someone as a sovereign citizen, that's what they claim themselves to be. What if something bad happened to them? Like, what if they got someone robbed them or murdered them or attempted to kill them? Would they then fall into go to the police to ask for help, or get involved in the case to seek help or something like that? Because how would that work?
They're a sovereign citizen until they need help.
Yeah. Where's the line?
Yeah. Oh yeah, just a bit of a self-correction on something earlier. The guy that did the recent shooting, yesterday, he wasn't getting raided. Yeah, wasn't getting raided for having illegal guns. He was getting raided for being a sex pest. He was like historic sexual crime. So whether that means pedophilia or something, but they knew he had guns in the past because he had whinged about having his gun license taken away. That's where they went there with what they said that when they first raided his place, they went there with 10 police, and some of them were from a special task force. One of the ones who was shot and killed was from that task force. And then
wait, was this before the two people got shot, or is this after you said the first raid or first group of 10?
The raid that happened where the two got shot, they went there
Yesterday.
with 10 officers all up.
Oh, I thought it was I thought it was similar to the situation in Queensland where it was like 3 or 4 of them just checking in. Oh, okay, so there was a group of them heading in.
Gonna be originally, yeah.
So one of them that died was a fairly young guy he was a Melbourne police officer who was on that task force, and the other one that passed away was a local police officer who was apparently days away from retirement.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah.
Well,
why is it always...
That's like stereotypical movie cop curse. I'm retiring
That's what
soon.
I mean.
One more case.
Oh.
Oh.
yeah. I just liked in this case study, it has some like critical thinking questions. One of the questions says here, what potential issues arise when individuals could pick and choose which laws to follow based on personal beliefs?
Well, it kind of summarizes it there. They can pick and choose.
What potential
it's only,
issues? Well,
it's not.
let's see.
It's illegal to kill people, but if I do it, it's
perfectly fine.
It's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it's a police officer, I get extra points. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess because the main reason why I brought this up was because of the 2022 shootings. But then when we came to recording it, the shooting happened yesterday as of recording. The one in Porrepunkia? No, what was it called? Porrepunk had a weird name.
Porrepunkia.
Yeah, that one.
Porrepunkia.
Porrepunkia.
Who in Punker?
You heard. Yeah, you punked her.
What are you really drinking, Jackson?
Well, not Porrepunkia. So yeah, another critical thinking question is how does the increase in cases involving sovereign citizens affect A, the efficiency and fairness of the legal system, and B, access to the system and justice in other matters before the court? So
I don't know. It probably slows down the process a little. That's about it.
Because the whole thing of them being convenient, like making sovereign citizens having their own convenience, is when it kind of inflicts inconvenience on others. Like what is convenient for them isn't convenient for anyone else. So it does seem it kind of creates
extreme individualism.
Yeah, I don't know if I remember telling you that story about when there was I was driving from home from work, and I was coming across a road nearby us, and the merges 2 lanes into one, and there's that van driver who got out, and I quoted saying he had main character syndrome. I think that's a big thing in like these sovereign citizens, that they have main character syndrome, or I think the world revolves them around them. I think that's kind of like a simple,
very selfish worldview.
Yeah, like a stereotypical way to spot a sovereign citizen. I mean, they won't claim that they are, but like giving off that type of energy, it kind of makes you think.
I don't know, Jackson. Have you met any of them?
No, Troy, are you not one?
I'm a white guy. And I'm ready to kill.
Well, Alex Jones would be, I guess.
No, he's pretty close to that, I reckon. But no, I mean, we haven't actually met any people who identify as sovereign citizens, so we can't really talk in that sense. But judging by the people that you see and hear talk and, like, I guess, promote that worldview, it would be a little bit of a main character syndrome. But I wouldn't know much about the main character. I'm only an NPC.
Yes, you're well, for me, you're a non-playable character.
That's right. You can't play me.
You. To me, you're a CPU.
Wait.
Yeah.
But that's a non-player character.
Correct.
I am. Yes.
What difficulty are you on? Are you on easy, normal, or hard?
Oh boy,
I'm always hard.
Go kill it again.
Oh my goodness, you're always hard. Jackson.
I'm gay.
Man, I miss the old iDubbbz.
That reminded me of the old episode I listened to. Our second ever episode, we did the stupid AI story stuff with Inficate. And oh my gosh,
yes.
You were wearing a wig and wearing lady genitalia. Good stuff. So yeah, that's basically what I want to talk about sovereign citizens. Is that I think
Basically,
they're just a big stock-up pricks who think they own everything and that they can do anything that they want.
are there even that many people who identify as sovereign citizens here? In
Well, I don't think that's
Victoria or Australia.
I think, like, if just going off presumptions, I think the most sovereign citizens that we would have in one state would be Victoria or New South Wales.
Also, I'd like to point out the fact that we were talking about doing this episode like 2-3 weeks ago, and instead we did the Boomer episode. And then right before we decide to do an episode on sovereign citizens, there's like a shooting that occurs. kind of in a sovereign citizen-y kind of way. And I'd like to point out how I spoke about synchronicities in a few previous episodes. That I swear, Jackson, you willing this stuff into. Can you think about winning the lottery, please? Can we do a lottery episode? We've already done a tree episode.
We've already done a tree episode.
But can we do a lottery episode? I feel like if we do a lottery episode and then I buy a ticket, it's just like icing on the cake. It's a little bit of extra luck.
You gotta buy a ticket to win. You gotta buy a ticket to be in a chance to. No, what did that say? You can't win.
You gotta be in it to win it.
Yeah, that one.
It's the greatest. It's the most horrible and greatest phrase out there. You got to be in it to win it. You got to buy a ticket if you want to win it.
This isn't my world.
I found the country that was supposedly a thing in Western Australia. It was called the Principality of Hutt River.
I'm gonna come.
It's a Hutt River.
I know you can still go and visit it, can't you? It's like
Yes,
a
you can.
tourist attraction these days, and you can like put a novelty stamp in your passport, and they accept like donations for, I think it's like cooking supplies, like flour and
A
whatever, not
novelty
to bake
stamp.
cookies for the gift shop and all that jazz. But isn't the federal government pissy at the old bloke who owns it because he hasn't paid federal taxes for however many years?
Maybe I cannot remember. I do remember.
Hey, it's his country. He doesn't have to pay taxes.
There was
That was
something
his
along
reasoning.
with-
If
Right.
you own enough land, do you really have to pay taxes?
Don't know. Oh, that's right. Because they had 23 residents in Hutt River, but most of them were farm workers, so they didn't actually really live there. They were just working there. But yeah, I don't know if the person behind that was a sovereign citizen, so to speak. But the guy who originally created it passed away in 2019.
You guys are reminding me of this video I watched of some guy. I don't know. He was like a young American guy, but some well-known YouTuber. He goes to this. There's like this little country. It's basically the island. It's like a 50 by 50 meter island, but it's on a river between these two different countries. And because of how the borders are set up, essentially it's like a sovereign nation.
Wait, where? Sorry, between where?
I'm trying to remember. It's like between these two African or Middle Eastern countries or something. It's like an island, and yeah, it's like 50 by 50 meters, but it's considered sovereign land. Like neither of the two countries owns it, and some guy actually just happens to like technically own this country, but nobody will let it because of some principle. Nobody in either country will let anyone come onto this island. The moment they do, they get arrested. And there was this whole this YouTuber went, I'm going to get on that island. So and the moment he gets on the island, that's when they come in and they full on like, we're talking like some sort of African country, border security, like police force come in.
Oh, yes, yes.
And arrest the bloke.
Was it Russia? It was Europe.
I mean, it could have been Europe. I thought it was Africa.
There's that kid who in 2019 pretty much settled that there's a unclaimed strip of land between Croatia and Serbia.
Maybe it's that one.
And
Is that it?
yeah, there's some teenage kid went there and started the free land of, it's called Verdis, Verdis.
Is that it? Is that one? Is it?
Yeah, and recently I think it's the Croatian government have been real wankery about it and have stopped him from like letting people there and whatnot.
Yes,
he's got a full-on website. I was actually looking at it yesterday. He's got a website where you can go on there and you can apply for e-residency, and then they're also screening people to become permanent citizens. But I don't know how you go about.
Here we go. World's youngest president, 20-year-old Daniel Jackson of Verdis, starts his own country in Europe. It's like this tiny little stretch of land.
What was it called? Verdis or Verbis?
Verdis.
Oh, Verdis.
Verdis. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that might have been the one.
There might have been a different situation,
There
but
was
it's kind of
also
funny.
another one though, where like both countries had a coast guard going past this island.
That might have been Liberland.
That's the one I'm thinking of. With the
what's
two
called
coast
Lava
guards.
Land?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think it's that one.
Lava Land.
Liberland.
Oh, okay.
And it's another dispute that just happens between on some random land between Croatia and Serbia.
Yeah.
Is it like a little island, this one, or?
Yes, it is between Czechia and somewhere else, and Serbia.
But yeah, one of the countries, I said both, but it's actually one's really cool with it. The other one, they've constantly got like people on boats patrolling the area, just to kind of be dicks about it. Like, we're not letting anyone on this island.
Yeah.
But it made me think, if you're a sovereign citizen, hey, why not move to a place like that?
Well, who are those guys that tried like to start their own like little micronation when they built? It was like they just used like they bought components of ex-oil rigs and just created a platform out in the sea. Yeah, that's it.
Is it Sealand? I think it's called Sealand. It's basically a World War II.
A Sealand country.
No, not Sealand. Is it Sealand? I thought it is Sealand.
There's an oil rig. Hold on.
It's just an oil platform.
The principle of Sealand, and it's like these two big drums or something.
It's too big. Yeah, the
Principality of Sealand.
Yeah, that's
Principality is an unrecognized micronation on the HM Fort Ruffs, an offshore platform in the North Sea of England, and that.
Yeah.
It is situated on the rough sands. Sorry, a sandbar located approximately 11 kilometers from the coast of Suffolk.
Felixstowe.
Suffolk. Suffolk. And 30 kilometers from the coast of Essex.
Okay.
But anyway, World War II, Cincinnati decommissioned rough town. So is this actually considered an actual nation? Or
Yeah,
what?
someone lives on there.
Sealand population. What? As of August 2024, the Principality of Sealand has a population of just one permanent resident and is often referred to as one of the smallest claimed territories in the world.
Yep, that's the one.
It's such a small little oil rig.
And then there was the other one that actually did briefly get recognized was Rose Island, the Republic of Rose Island, and it was a couple of Italian guys and his missus just decided to build a
Republic of Rose Island.
It's another one of them.
Yeah. I never knew this one. That's interesting. They made a film about it too.
I guess it wasn't ever really recognized, but like they actually successfully did live on there for quite a while. But the Italian government was like, "You guys are just trying to commit fraud,
tax evasion."
Will.
Oh, that's good. That's crazy. How they build it all the way up there, though. That's insane. Must have been...
Well, the guys who did that one were actually engineers.
Oh, that makes sense. Then they would have known. Although Rhode Island had its own government, currency, post office, and commercial establishments, it was never formally recognized as a sovereign state by any other country in the world. Interesting. There you go.
Let's think about it for a second. If you had how much of an island land would you need? Let's say it got the perfect amount of, I don't know, not fresh water, but the perfect amount of rainwater to actually grow crops and all that. Like, how much land would you need to live off, and what would you need to survive permanently, but also to expand it?
Some. The MCG at Ovalsworth.
With the you reckon an Ovalsworth would be enough?
Yeah.
Enough land to, like, I don't know, to what, grow crops and everything and survive and grow trees to build houses and all that. Like, let's say, let's put this in like a not a Minecraft, but a Minecraft or a building style video game. You know how you build everything from scratch?
Yeah, I was thinking like when I said oval, I was more thinking like the MCG. The MCG, that should be suffice.
MCG.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Boston's footy over here at Portland.
I think you'd be okay with that.
Because I always watch videos of YouTubers doing like RimWorld playthroughs, for example, where it's like surviving in like in the desert or surviving in an Iceland Iceland challenge RimWorld, and they basically start off on like an ice palette with Iceland with nothing around them. So the character that they've got, well, the one little sim character they've got is like freezing cold, and they've got to find a way to survive through the night so they can chop down a tree to build a house, etc. And the only way they can get certain materials is when a trader comes on screen. If you've ever played RimWorld or seen someone play it, Jackson, you would have seen.
I'm familiar what it is. Yeah, it's not my type of game, but it is a survivor game. It's kind of like if I don't want to say it's like Minecraft versus meets Fallout, but
It's closer to Sims meets Minecraft,
yeah,
but yes. But yeah, how much? So you reckon an MCG's worth of land would be enough?
it's pretty big. It's a big building as well. Like the grandstands make it feel much bigger.
That's true. That's true. Anyway,
That's
there you go. But if you want to be a sovereign citizen, maybe find a piece of land like that that's not unclaimed or nobody owns. Nobody wants to live there because there's plenty of islands out there, isn't there?
Okay.
Which are technically owned by like our government, for example, or another government, but they'd probably be willing to sell it to someone for like a very small amount because they're like, we're not going to do anything with this anyway. Yeah, sure, you can have it.
Yeah.
Create your own little resort and then get tourists, and then it's a business opportunity.
Any final notes from you guys about sovereign citizens?
Yeah, don't be one.
There, don't be a wanker, essentially.
And if you are one, don't shoot me, please.
Yeah, shoot for the guy. Shoot for the police if you have to.
And don't machete me either.
Well, no, that's because you should be putting
they
your machetes
wouldn't
in
machete you,
those...
bro. Everyone knows they've gone into those bins that
Amnesty
cost 300
bins.
grand each.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If I make a machete, do I have to give it up then?
Just don't even make it.
Imagine if they had, it'd be good if they did the amnesty thing where, they buy them back off the public. 'Cause that's what they did with the guns. They did the amnesty. You got paid to drop your guns off.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll just become a blacksmith overnight. I'm pumping out 100 of these bad boys a day.
Oh, Carl, you don't understand. The government can't afford to pay for machetes like they could afford to pay for guns anymore.
They
We
can't
gotta
afford to
start
pay for machetes because they spend so much on the bins.
We got to start taxing people for having empty rooms in their houses now, or some ridiculous thing.
Landlord tax.
Did you hear about that, Jackson?
No, what was that? Sorry.
The spare room tax or something?
No. Make it quick though.
I don't know the actual details, but something to do with like if you've got a 3-bedroom house, but there's only 2 people living there. I don't think they're going to tax you more. I think they're going to encourage people to sell or I don't remember. It was very.
Yeah, okay.
Let me look it up real quick. Spare
Yeah.
tax.
While Troy does that, I'll just quickly mention we check out our YouTube, check out our Instagram, check out all the podcast services that
And
you listen to
remember
us and hit follow.
Leave comments and your bank details.
Yeah. Specifically, and your Prime and your Amazon and what else would you
Hit up
do?
our Amazon wish list.
Wish list, yep. Spotify playlist. The YouTube Red. Wait, no, it's called Premium now. Yes.
You read exclusive movies. That lasted long, didn't it?
Yeah, no. Everyone tried to do things for that, but anyway.
Logan Paul, airplane mode.
Throw it.
Ooh. It's disgusting.
Troy looks like he's in anguish. He's struggling.
Well, so basically they're not saying it's stamp duty, but they're saying like the government could charge people more
for not having someone else in there.
For having an extra room or something. Government could make it more expensive to have more housing than you need and cheaper to live in smaller housing, she said. Many advocates for the tax reform, like abolishing stamp duty, will make it cheaper to move housing and replace it with broad-based land tax, which raises the cost. Make Aussie homes is changing because they're saying 60% of homes are only lived in by 2 people, while they're usually 3 to 4 bedroom houses.
Mm-hmm.
The coalition's head of Australia Research, Eliza Owen, said questions are being raised about how well the housing market is serving the real demand. Well, there's nothing wrong with more bedrooms than people in dwellings. There could be some inefficiencies in the way housing is being allocated, she said. I don't like that word, allocated. I want to suggest a tax could help people move into housing fitting their size, but like what? How would this tax work? Changed. Let me scroll down. House sorting fees. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about what this tax is or what it would be. So, but basically, yeah, it's a spare bedroom tax. So I don't know if they charge people per room, like for some, like you know how you got to pay like, what is it, your rates? I don't know if they'd increase your rates based on the rooms in your house, for example, but that's what it sounds like they do, which is already kind of fucked up.
So they're saying that you should just turn any spare room that you have in your house into an office or
Well,
a
basically,
workspace. Or...
it sounds like you have. Well, that's still technically a spare room. It has to be an open floor plan, I'm guessing. Because even it's still a spare room, you're just using it as an office or something. But I don't know. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Yeah, well, that's a good idea. Tax people more. Create more ridiculous taxes.
Fill each individual empty room up with expander foam and shut the door. Technically, yes.
I think the idea behind it is to encourage people who, like, for example, empty nesters. It's to encourage empty nesters to move into smaller houses because that way they're paying less on their rates or something like that. But then you've got people like me, for example, or who has a spare room at the moment, technically.
Well,
But we've also got another kid on the way. So we won't have a spare room in the next couple. So what about the people who are planning to have kids? Do they have to pay the extra rate or whatever it is? It's just...
Yeah, it seems a bit over the top. But anyway.
It's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Spoke about it. Can we go in Canberra?
Maybe I'll be a soft... You know what? They can't tax me for having a spare bedroom. This is my land. I earn it. I don't recognise their spare
Welcome to
bedroom
the nation
tax.
of Troylandia.
I don't recognise this spare bedroom tax. I'm not going to pay it.
Okay, Troy, this quick roundup.
Probably really
If
loud.
you were to name your house a country, what would it be? What's your house?
Prestonia.
Kyle, do you have a name for a country for your house, for your home?
Ooh, I don't know.
Joannia.
Hollandia.
Well, mine's Philopolis.
Philopolis. I like that one. Yeah, it's good.
Because it could be Greek, but it's not Greek.
And it could be Roman, but it's not Roman.
It's definitely not Roman. It's definitely not French. The French. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening, watching to episode 108. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the follow button for the subscriptions and never miss episode and stuff like that. And if Troy could kindly hit the outro button, I will die not remembering the outro line.
I mean, this says temp intro, but I think it's the outro.
Don't be rude.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff.
Well, I
didn't
guess you
happen.
could say. Oh, well, I guess you could say technically. Wrong checkpoint.
Hey, you! Wrong checkpoint.
I was originally going to play.
Bye.
I'm done.